Hello, my most amazing artists. So you might notice that this video is at a little bit of a different angle. That's because today we are going to talk about contour drawing. So we are going to draw a shoe. I chose one of my most fun shoes, which I'm sad because the sole is starting to break. I need to get it repaired. But I chose this shoe because I think it'll be interesting to draw. For today's lesson, you'll just need a pencil, an eraser. If you have a Sharpie marker or a black pen of some kind, I would recommend that you get it because the first drawing we're going to do and the second one, I think that would be an interesting challenge to just use pen and not pencil at all, especially for the second one, the blind contour. I invite you to use a pen and not a pencil. So contour means the outline of an object. So when we're drawing the contour, our eyes will follow the line of the object, just drawing the outside. So for our first one, we're going to look at the shoe and draw. And we're allowed to look at our drawing, but we're going to try to keep our eyes moving right along and try not to pick up our pen too much. We can pick it up a little bit, but we're going to try to just draw the outline exactly how we see it. Now, my drawing will look a little different from yours just because I'm coming from this angle. My eyes are up here, and you are looking from this angle. So what you see of the shoe will be different, but I'm drawing from my angle, drawing the outline of the shoe. So I'm going to start at this top corner, which you can't quite see on the viewfinder, but that's okay because it's just like a little teeny bit. So I'm going to start right up at the top here in the top corner of my page. And I'm going to pay attention to the angle. So it travels down and then it sort of evens out, going up, and I'm moving my pen very slowly, traveling, letting my eye trace the shoe. And there's a little wrinkle, so a little bump. And I'm coming down to the toe, which has a little point. And then the sole of this shoe is sort of coming off. So the contour here actually goes like this, travels up, starts to angle back in, looping up. There's a little bump. And then it comes down and the heel starts. So it makes a straight-ish line down. Then there's a little thing on the heel, making a little bump. Then the heel starts to come back up and out. And then around. Now this is just the outside. So I want to start to catch these other contours. So the inside of the shoe is sort of this open shape. So I'm going to trace right along, and you might notice there's a little line going along the inside. So I'm going to trace that. And this is a really good way to draw something realistically. So I'm tracing along the inside. And then when my eye reaches the point where it starts to cross over, I really pay attention to the angle because my eye might try to trick me. Then this line starts to travel back up. Maybe there's a little bump. And then it's traveling up and around. So now I've drawn that. Now I can kind of, from my angle, I can see the inside sole of the shoe. So I'm going to draw that. It travels down, 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 and then it starts to flatten out. So now I want to capture the fact that this bottom of this shoe separates from the sole. So in this area of my drawing, you can see that it starts here. So I'm going to use my eye and I'm going to trace around, and I see where the bottom of the shoe comes back close to the sole again, I'm tracing along, and actually that line travels all the way around. And then I can see that I can see the inside of the heel. And then there's this little black thing. You might not be able to see it as well from the camera, but there's the heel. So now I notice that there's a line here connecting the heel of the shoe to the foot. And I notice that there's this little seam, these little threads. So I'm going to take my pen and very lightly start to draw that, and maybe I let my pen pick up a little bit because I don't want it to be one big solid line. I want it to kind of look like the thread, right? So I also notice that there may be some creases I can do lightly. But with a contour drawing, you're really not trying to catch all the detail, you're catching the outline. So there's my outline of my shoe, and I notice there's a little seam inside, which I don't know if you can see from your angle, but there is my outline of my shoe. Just done with using my eye like a pen and tracing. Now, I'm going to show you a really fun way to draw called blind contour. Now, blind contour is challenging because you are not allowed to look at what you're drawing, and you're not allowed to pick up your pen. So, I'm going to change the angle of my shoe. I'm going to change it to look like that. And I'm going to use my eyes. Let's see, how am I going to do this? I'll do it like this. I'm going to use my eyes, and I'm going to start here. And now you'll just have to trust me that I am looking at the shoe and not my paper. And I'm going to start here, and I'm not going to take my eyes off the shoe. So I'm drawing what I see without looking at my paper. And this can be fun. You can draw your friends this way too, looking just at their face and not your paper. Sometimes you'll get some funny drawings. Letting my eyes travel along the shoe. And then I need to do where the sole is coming off, so I'm going to go down and around, and it kind of disappears here. So I'm going to trace up, and it comes back out here, and then there's the heel. And then I need to draw the inside of the shoe here. So I will have to pick up my pen so that I can do the inside, but I'm still not going to look at my paper. I'm going to just use my mind to feel where I think the inside of the shoe is, and then I'm going to start to trace. And I'm following the line of the inside of the shoe. And now I see there's the inside of the sole here, so I'm going to trace down along this line here with my eyes until I find the inside of the sole right there. And then from my angle, it curves up, and then it curves down again, and then I can see a little shadow. And I see there's some cursive there, so I'm going to try to copy that just with my eyes. That's just to give myself a little extra challenge. I bet this is going to look funny. All right. Now I'm going to look at my page. Oh, wow. Huh. That looks just like it, right? Huh. So when you draw with a blind contour, you might get some funny results. I have some blind contour drawings that a friend made of me. She looked at my face, but didn't look at the paper while she drew. I'm going to go get them and show them to you really quick so you can see what it's like. Here they are. So, I had a friend who looked at my face and drew me without picking up her pencil and without looking at her paper. So I challenge you to get some paper and look at things around the house, maybe a shoe, maybe a cup, maybe your mom, maybe your brother, and just draw what you see without picking up your pencil. I could do this bottle. Let's see. Without looking at the paper or picking up my pen, I'm going to draw blind contour. And it'll look different every time. Maybe I pick up my pen because I want to do this texture here. And I just follow what I see. Ooh, try to roll away. And try to draw the label. Oh, I don't think I did the bottom. And you can even start to try to draw details without looking. So I see the labels here. So, well, that is interesting. So what I just want you to do is really start to let your eyes do the drawing. When your eye moves, your pen moves, but you don't look at your paper, and just see what happens. And if you have a hard time not looking at your paper, you could try taking your paper and putting it under the table, looking at your object and drawing with your hands under the table on a clipboard. I have my hands under the table. You can't see it because it was underneath. But that's one good way to keep yourself from accidentally cheating. But it's up to you. But contour drawing is really interesting because it teaches your eyes and your hand to work together. And that's how we get better and better at drawing. Once your eyes learn to trust your hand and your hand to trust your eye, you don't have to use contour drawing unless you want to, but it helps you be able to draw what you see more realistically. So that's that. I hope you enjoy doing this project from the Learning in Place plan. This is project number 1, draw a shoe, if you were wondering. And I'm not doing these in any particular order. I'm just going over the activities, having a little bit of fun with them, and giving you a little bit of extra information aside from what's written on your assignment sheet. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed and stay creative. Bye.